Welcome to Dreamy Fairy English Land. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about a young boy named Harry Potter. In the magical world, owls are a traditional way to deliver mail. They can travel any distance and deliver letters precisely to the recipient. At Hogwarts, a magical place, young Harry Potter received a letter delivered by an owl. One morning, while Harry and the other students were having breakfast in the Great Hall, Hedwig, Harry's owl, flew in and gently landed on the table in front of Harry, bringing him a letter. It was from Hagrid, inviting Harry to visit his hut nearby the Forbidden Forest. Excited, Harry shared the news with his friends Hermione and Ron. That afternoon, they arrived at Hagrid's hut. Hagrid warmly welcomed them and introduced them to his dog, Fang, a large and seemingly fierce, but actually friendly and timid dog. As they sat down for tea, Harry noticed the headline on the Daily Prophet: Gringotts break-in, attempted robbery at Gringotts, thwarted. The date of the attempted robbery was the same day Hagrid and Harry had visited Gringotts. The article mentioned that the robbers had not taken anything because what they wanted had already been removed. "Have you heard about the Gringotts break-in?" Harry asked, pointing to the newspaper headline. Hagrid nodded, but didn't say much more. Harry remembered their visit to Gringotts, when Hagrid mysteriously told Harry that he was on an important mission for Dumbledore and retrieved a small package from a vault. Hagrid had warned Harry not to tell anyone about it. Harry started to think these two events might be connected. Whatever Dumbledore had Hagrid retrieve must be very important. What could be so valuable that someone would risk breaking into Gringotts? Harry tried to ask Hagrid more questions, but Hagrid quickly changed the subject and told Harry not to worry about it. They continued to chat happily in Hagrid's hut, but Harry couldn't stop wondering about the mystery. A few days later, while Harry and the other students were having dinner, Malfoy came over to taunt them. Hearing that Harry had joined the Quidditch team made Draco Malfoy even more jealous, and he mocked Harry from time to time. "Do you think you're so great just because you joined the Quidditch team, Potter? How about a magical duel with me in the trophy room tonight? You'll never beat me." Harry was very angry. He'd reached his limit with Malfoy's constant bullying and taunting, not just directed at him, but also at his friends. For example, Malfoy would mock Ron's family's financial situation or tease Neville for his clumsiness. Out of impulse, Harry accepted Malfoy's challenge. Ron also volunteered to be Harry's assistant. Hermione worried they might get into trouble, followed them to try to talk them out of it. To avoid being caught by the teachers, they chose a less obvious route to the trophy room. But because of the moving staircases, they accidentally ended up in the forbidden fourth-floor corridor. There, they saw a giant three-headed dog, a terrifying creature with 3 huge heads and glowing eyes. The dog was standing over a trapdoor, clearly guarding something very important. "Oh my goodness, it has 3 heads," Ron exclaimed, his face pale. "We need to get out of here," Hermione whispered, her voice trembling. But the 3-headed dog had already noticed them and began to growl. Harry, Ron, and Hermione quickly backed away, but their footsteps alerted the dog, and it started moving towards them. "Run!" Harry shouted. They turned and ran down the corridor, their hearts pounding. They could almost feel the dog's hot breath on their backs, but luckily, the dog was chained to the trapdoor. They finally made it back to the Gryffindor common room, gasping for breath, their hearts still racing. "What was that dog guarding?" Harry asked, still shaken. "Whatever it is, it must be very important," Hermione replied, looking equally puzzled. They decided to keep this a secret, knowing they weren't supposed to be in the forbidden corridor, but their minds were filled with questions. They had discovered something incredible, and for now, nobody cared about Malfoy's challenge. The next day, Harry decided to ask Hagrid about the 3-headed dog. "Hagrid, do you know there's a 3-headed dog in the forbidden corridor?" Hagrid seemed surprised that Harry knew about this, but hesitated for a moment before nodding. "Aye, that's Fluffy. He's mine. Dumbledore borrowed him to guard something very important." "What's he guarding?" Harry asked. "I can't tell you that, Harry. It's a secret. But I can tell you it belongs to Nicholas Flamel." With this new information, Harry connected it to what Hagrid had retrieved for Dumbledore. Harry, Ron, and Hermione were more curious than ever. They wanted to know what Fluffy was guarding and why it was so important. And who was Nicholas Flamel? That night, as Harry lay in bed, he felt a sense of adventure and excitement. Hogwarts was full of mysteries, and he was determined to uncover them all. With friends by his side, he knew anything was possible. It seems that Hogwarts is full of mysteries waiting for Harry and us to explore one by one. If you also want to know more, remember to subscribe to our channel. More amazing stories are waiting for you. Good night.